In 1947, one decision created the largest mass migration in human history. 15 million people displaced, 2 million dead, two nuclear nations born from blood and fire. This is the India-Pakistan Partition, the violent birth of two countries that changed the world forever. Welcome to VibeVerse. Today, we're breaking down the facts, the timeline, and the catastrophic human cost of one of history's darkest moments. Let's get into it. The British Raj. Background: for 200 years, Britain ruled India as its crown jewel, the British Raj. By 1940, pressure for independence was mounting. The Indian National Congress, led by Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, demanded complete independence. The Muslim League, led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, feared Hindu majority rule and pushed for a separate Muslim nation. Britain, weakened by World War II and facing economic collapse, knew it couldn't hold India much longer. The question wasn't if independence would happen but how. The Mountbatten Plan. In March 1947, Lord Louis Mountbatten arrived as India's last British viceroy with one mission: end British rule fast. He quickly realized the Congress and Muslim League couldn't agree. Civil war seemed imminent. Indian troops were showing signs of mutiny. On June 3, 1947, Mountbatten announced his plan: divide India into two independent nations, Hindu-majority India and Muslim-majority Pakistan. The announcement shocked millions. Gandhi called it vivisection of India and opposed it till his death. But Congress leadership, exhausted by negotiations, reluctantly agreed. Jinnah got his Pakistan. Britain's parliament passed the Indian Independence Act on July 18, 1947. The deadline: midnight, August 14-15, 1947. 1 month to divide an empire that took a century to build. The Radcliffe Line's biggest challenge: drawing borders through Punjab and Bengal, two massive provinces with mixed Hindu, Muslim, and Sikh populations. Cyril Radcliffe, a British lawyer who had never been to India before, was chosen to draw the boundaries. He had 5 weeks, working with incomplete census data and communal representatives who couldn't agree on anything. Radcliffe made final decisions alone. The result: the Radcliffe Line. It split Punjab down the middle, creating West Punjab for Pakistan and East Punjab for India. Bengal was divided into East Bengal for Pakistan and West Bengal for India. The line satisfied nobody. It separated families, split villages, cut through farms, and divided communities that had coexisted for centuries. And here's the worst part: the borders weren't announced until 2 days after independence. People didn't know which side of the new border they'd wake up on. Midnight, August 14th to 15th, 1947. At midnight on August 14-15, 1947, India and Pakistan became independent nations. Jawaharlal Nehru declared, "At the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom." In Delhi, celebrations erupted, but in Punjab and Bengal, hell broke loose. Hindus and Sikhs in newly formed Pakistan realized they were now minorities in a Muslim nation. Muslims in India faced the same terror in reverse. Within hours, communal violence exploded. Mobs attacked villages, trains, and refugee columns. The brutality was unimaginable. The violence event: 200,000 and 2 million people were killed. Historians still debate the exact number, because the chaos made accurate counting impossible. Entire train cars arrived at stations filled with corpses. Villages were burned. Women were abducted, raped, and murdered. An estimated 75,000 to 100,000 women suffered sexual violence. Many were forcibly converted or married off. Some families killed their own women to preserve honor rather than let them be captured. Children were slaughtered. Families were separated forever. The violence was systematic, organized, and horrifying. Hindu and Sikh mobs attacked Muslims. Muslim mobs attacked Hindus and Sikhs. It was neighbor killing neighbor, fueled by fear, revenge, and centuries of religious tension suddenly weaponized. The Great Migration Partition triggered the largest mass migration in human history outside war. Between 12 and 20 million people crossed the new borders. Muslims in India fled to Pakistan. Hindus and Sikhs in Pakistan fled to India. They traveled on foot, by train, in bullock carts carrying whatever belongings they could. Refugee columns stretched for miles. Many never made it. They were attacked on roads, ambushed at rivers, massacred on trains. Families arrived with nothing, lost everything, and had to rebuild from scratch in refugee camps. The trauma lasted generations. Kashmir problem and resolved issue triggered immediate war. Kashmir. This Himalayan region had a Muslim majority population, but a Hindu ruler, Maharaja Hari Singh. He delayed choosing between India and Pakistan. In October 1947, Pakistani tribal militias invaded Kashmir. The Maharaja appealed to India for military help. India agreed on condition. Kashmir accedes to India. He signed the instrument of accession. Indian troops flew in. Pakistan sent its army. The First Indo-Pakistani War began. It lasted until January 1949, when unbrokered ceasefire. Result: Kashmir divided along line of control. India controlled 2/3, Pakistan 1/3. Both claimed the entire region. This dispute remains unresolved 78 years later and has caused 3 more wars. Long-term consequence aspersion created permanent hostility between India and Pakistan. They fought 4 wars: 1947-48, 1965, 1971, and 1999. Thousands died in each. Both became nuclear powers in 1998. Today, they're nuclear-armed rivals with history of conflict. The 1971 war was particularly significant. East Pakistan, feeling oppressed by West Pakistan, fought for independence with Indian support. Bangladesh was born from that war. Pakistan lost half its territory and population. The human cost of partition echoes today. Families remain divided by borders they can't cross. Muslims in India face discrimination. Hindus in Pakistan face persecution. The trauma passed through generations. Survivors carry memories of violence, loss, and displacement. Their children and grandchildren inherit that pain. Why it matters today 78 years later, India and Pakistan remain hostile. Kashmir continues to be flashpoint. Terrorist attacks blamed on Pakistan-based groups trigger crises. Border skirmishes kill soldiers regularly. Both nations spend billions on military while poverty persists. Nuclear arsenals grow. The risk of catastrophic war remains. Partition shows how hastily drawn borders and unresolved religious tensions create permanent conflict. Britain rushed independence without proper planning. Radcliffe drew borders in weeks that should have taken years. Leaders prioritize political victory over human safety. The cost: millions dead, displaced, traumatized. 2 nations born in blood, locked in eternal rivalry. Conclusion: the India-Pakistan partition was one of history's greatest humanitarian disasters. A decision made in months destroyed millions of lives in days. Religious division weaponized by politics created violence on unimaginable scale. The legacy: 2 nuclear nations, 4 wars, ongoing conflict, and generational trauma. History's lesson: borders drawn in haste create bloodshed that lasts generations. What could have been done differently? Better planning? Gradual transition? Respect for mixed communities? We'll never know. What we do know: partition's wounds haven't healed. And until India and Pakistan find peace, those wounds will keep bleeding. What do you think? Was partition inevitable? Could violence have been prevented? Comment below. Like if you learned something. Subscribe to VibeVerse for more history that shaped our world. The past isn't dead. It's still killing people today.